Well, today I'm going to show you how I repaired a sidewalk. Cost less than $50. I just got Portland, a little bit of bonding agent, and some play sand, and that was it. So the Portland cost me like $15, the other glue cost me $20, and then the play sand $7, $8, I forget, and I fixed it. Now this is an old school, what the old timers would do if they had to fix a sidewalk. Depression era. Everybody painted everything at one time with either lime, or after 1900 they started using Portland. And it's all simple. I'm going to show you how I did it, and then I'm going to take my time, and at the very end I'm going to explain more. But this piece of sidewalk, even though they painted it and everything, it's all broken up. I don't know, you can see maybe pieces coming off of here, but it was probably a bad mix. Don't think every time you get concrete it's a good mix. So what are we going to do with this? We don't want to rip it all up. Got to fix the chips here. Here's a set of steps I put in, and we're only going to concentrate on this part right here. I'm going to show you the old school Depression era way the old timers would fix these kind of sidewalks for almost nothing. Because if I had to put just this piece in, I'd say maybe it'd take about a yard. I'm going to say a yard and a half. You got to get the truck here. You got to take all these things out. You got to reform it. You got to re-pour it. But if you want a cheap fix, I'm going to show you how to do it. We're in South Carolina. If you look over up in there, you see that? It's palm trees. Below that there's a banana tree. Where the palm trees be, it's better for the masonry. So we're not going to worry about patching this. Let's get into it. So we're not going to make a big deal out of this. We're just going to see what's bad. It's not really, see, it's a little hollow there. See it coming up? Alright, so that's a bad part. We're going to think like a dentist. And actually, here's what's going on. The concrete, right down in here, it's all swelling up. So we know, no matter what we do here, we're just going to get the big stuff. That's how we're going to think like a dentist. This is a bad spot here. We're going to think like a dentist, and that's it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's good. Here's another soft spot. See it? See what's soft, and you see what isn't soft, and you fix it accordingly. You can actually hear it. See, that's solid. That's not solid. But it's not bad. So we're not gonna go crazy with it. We're just gonna get the big stuff. Because with this method, let's go up here a little bit. With this method, all we're gonna do is make it better. Here we go. Not bad. You can see it. Just the bad spots. I'll live with that. Up in here, see? The bad spots. If it don't come up easy, we're going to leave it there. Because what are we doing? All we're going to do, make it look like a new patio. The decision is, I'm just going to use the trowel and get the stuff that comes up easy. If it don't come up easy, just going to leave it there. Let's move up here a little bit. Why overthink it? That's it. That's good. I'm not going to live with that. Let's go over here. Right, when you go to a dentist, You don't rip the whole tooth out, he just gets the bad spots. Same thing. When we're doing repairs, that's pretty solid. That's loose. If it's loose, get it up. If it ain't loose, let it go. Okay, this is only 20 minutes later, and we're cleaning it up. We're looking to see if I missed anything. All right, we just cleaned it all up. You see, there's still hollow spots. You can hear it, but it's not coming up. This is what I call concrete rot. The water laid in there and it froze. Down here in South Carolina, this is probably 30 years old. We got most of it. See, this is solid. This is a little, it's okay, you can hear it. But what are we going to do? How long are you going to spend on it? That's the question. I think we're good enough. 20 minutes later, we're good enough. So now we're just washing it off and getting all the dirt off of it. Does it have to be perfect? No. So, okay, here's our 3 things we're going to use. See, this says Portland limestone cement. This limestone thing is supposed to be a lower carbon footprint, probably like electric cars. The jury's out. We don't know if it's that great, but we're looking for the Portland. Anything with Portland, that's what we want to use. Then, because it's a sidewalk, we're going to use this stuff. Concrete bond white. It is a bonding agent. Basically all it is Elmer's glue, I think. And then we got sand and we got water. We don't need anything else. So if I can make this as simple as I can, this is my mix. Everybody else might do it different. Let's throw 1, 2, 3, 4 cups of water in. Then I'm going to get this bonding agent. If I can get the thing off. And we're going to put this bonding agent in. I'd say, I don't know, 3/4 of a cup. That's it. That's all I need for this project. And then just stir it up. If you put too much of this bonding agent stuff in it, you get white streaks. But we're not worried about that for the patches. Now, we're going to get this Portland and we're going to put it in. We don't need a lot. Let's go 1, 2, 3 and a little bit, and we're going to mix it into a slurry. That's what we're going to do. No big deal. Portland cement. You see, what happens is how they make cement is they get limestone, they quarry out limestone, and they grind it up into a powder, and then they heat it. I think 3,500 degrees, I forget, and that burns a molecule of hydrogen out. So when you take this stuff, it comes out like that, and you remix it, and you add the water. Water is H2O. You're putting the hydrogen back in it, and it's reforming. So concrete, or what do you call it, is never harder than the actual limestone, my opinion. Now they're adding all kind of stuff to it. So I'll tell you what, that ain't too bad. Just want a little wetter. That's what we're going to go with. I think that's good enough. Now, I'll do something a little different. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to use some of this for a paint. And that's going to be my bonding agent. I'm going to take this. I hope this all makes sense. It's probably the most confusing part of masonry. That's going to be my bonding agent. Now for my patches. I can always mix that up. Because I'm patching it, I'm using regular sand. See it? This is nothing but play sand. You could use play sand. I'm going to add some of this in here. What that is, sand is nothing but small rocks. Alright, we're going to mix that in there. That's going to be our patches. A little more. No big deal. I'm not going to make no big deal out of this. See that? Okay, we got that. Matter of fact, that's good enough. Okay, we're going to start up near the steps. We got to make sure it's, we already hosed it, but we got to make sure. Then we get our, remember our paint we saved? We're going to paint in there. That is our bonding agent. That's what's going to make it stick. If you want concrete to stick, you got to wet it first. Then, so you can see what I'm doing, this is the stuff I mixed. I'm just going to put it in, and we're going to fix these patches. It's going to be drying up in a little bit, so we're not going to spend too much time here. We just want to get it in. See that? Get it in. No big deal. Don't overthink it. You just want to get the big holes. Like that. Then, if you want to get a little sponge, just go over the top of it like that. That's it. You can come back and go over it again. And if you want to get a little edger, this is like a concrete edger. That'll kind of smooth that out at the end, making it look like it was supposed to be that way. You could always put some on the edge and add a little more. And you can play as long as you want with it. You don't want to make a big deal out of it though. Just want to get it in for now and move on. Let's get the little sponge. I get these from old couch cushions, or my cousin ain't looking, I take it out of his car seat. That's it. Come back later. Now as we're going down, you're seeing little spider web kind of things. So we're going to just do the same thing. Paint over it like this. It don't hurt to do the whole area where the spider webs are. Right? And then this is what they call a sponge float, but you could just get the regular sponge, get it in there, rub it in. That's going to fill all the holes. See that? Then after you do that, because they broom finished it, just go whichever way they broom finished it, this way. That hides all them sins. Okay, I'm going to town here, trying to get this done before the sun comes up. Remember I told you it has to be wet before you put this stuff on it. Alright, see these spots right there? Now, just going to get it in there, flat it out like that, right? again. Now we're doing is getting the big spots. The sponge float is flat. You just go like this on top. Well, it levels it out. Sometimes you gotta pick it up a little bit. Filling all those holes in, see? No big deal. Don't overthink it. You wanted to just use a regular sponge and you have a cousin where you could get it out of his car seat, just go lightly like that. Lightly, because you don't want to dig them holes out. You want to see everything flat. Don't forget, we're going to go over it again with the paint. All right, how am I doing? Well, look at, I got that all done up there. I'm trying to finish it before the sun comes up. Remember what I told you? Before you put this paint on, you got to make sure it's wet. I'm trying to beat the sun. Make sure it's wet before you put any. And then get this paint on. And this is, I don't know, I started like 7 o'clock. Going on about 8 now. 8:30, I'd say. 1 o'clock. Put it in. Just like that. Flatten it out. Like that. Now you want to get it even. Don't forget, we can always go over with another coat. See that? I was going to hit it with the brush. They decided, might go over the whole thing again, I don't know. See how you go over lightly, fills all the holes in. Just like that, see? That's it. We're gonna win. Okay, the sun's up, time to get out of here. See how we did. Got most of the bad spots. You can always see this is all kind of dry up here now. See it? Let's go over it again. A little bit with the sponge. Make sure it doesn't look like, doesn't look bad, let's put it that way. That's all. I mean, we could always go over it again, but we want people to think that we know what we're doing. We're checking it all out. Go over it with the top of the sponge like this. Get the sand off of it lightly. See, that gets the sand off of it. And that's it. Go over the whole thing. The edges, see, that's a little rough. Come back here. Look at that. Smoothed it right out. See that? Is that a rock? Smooth it right out. Lightly over the sponge. Takes the top edges off. Alright, it is 5 o'clock at night, and guess what? It started to rain. I was going to paint it because I want to do it in the evening. But anyway, I keep this wet anyway. The longer you keep this wet, Portland and sand, the better off you're going to be. And then we'll see if we could paint it tonight if the rain goes away. Let it sit all night. Other than that, we'll paint it tomorrow. But right now we're just going to make sure that it stays wet. I like to do it at right before the nighttime, but it's raining every day here. It's like the tropics. And after 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we're going to be getting thunderstorms. So we're doing it real early in the morning. And before I even mix the cement, I want to make sure this is good and wet. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So this is going to be the same exact mix. I'm going to put 3 these in. That should be enough. Then we're going to put our water in with the bonding agent. Same thing as we did before. Same exact mix. We're going to mix it up. We're only going to do one little thing different. I'll show that to you. Okay. The only thing we're going to do different is just throw 1 handful of that sand in. Because that is going to be like a non-skid. Not going to hurt anything. It's just going to make it non-slippery. That's the only thing different. Now you see we already wet it once. It got a little dried here. The reason I'm doing this, I don't want it to dry too fast. Okay. Now, let me get a little slurry here. Just go along the edges, that's all. Just go along the edges so don't make a mess. It's not that thick. Once I get the edges in, I get the edges in, I can cheat a little bit, get my brush, because we're not making a piano. What we're doing is painting this with Portland. The old school Depression era way, the old timers would fix sidewalks. Same thing. I'm going to put this coat on it. We could always go over with another coat, so it's not a big deal. Now we're making it look like a brand new sidewalk. The old timers that lived through that Great Depression, I worked with those guys. They would save every nail, every screw. You'd never see them in a place like Home Depot buying stuff. Every board, anything they could get. Now it's only, we did this all in, what, 20 minutes? And let's get up here. You see how shiny it is? That's because the base was wet. Still wet. A couple of spots starting to dry. See them? The longer it stays wet, the better off we are. That's why we did it early morning. So let's watch it as it goes. We're looking at this 1 hour later. And you can see the sun is just starting to come up, and you can see the cat tracks right there. But you see how this is starting to set up dry? That's still wet as it goes down. It's still shiny and wet. I like to have this like an hour or 2 hours before the sun gets on it. So this is about an hour and so after we put it in. We'll check it again in another hour. Okay, this is 2 hours after we're done. You can see it's dry and spotty where the patches were, but that'll bleach out because we're going to do another coat anyway. It's about 12 hours later, and I'm going to do it again because I don't see any rain in sight. So I'm going to wet it good first, and I'm going to put my second coat on. Alright, I don't see any sign of rain. So I'm going to take a chance here because this will be dry. This will be set up in an hour. the reason I'm doing it right now is because it's going to sit here overnight. And that's going to harden it because there won't be no sun on it. And that's it. That's it. That's our second coat. We're all done. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow when we wake up. So before we go to bed, I'm just going to give it a little light spray. That'll keep it damp at night and make it harder. I wet it again in the morning, and it's towards afternoon now, and it dried up pretty good. And we might come back to South Carolina. When we do, I'll do this and that and that, and then maybe I'll even do this. So I'm happy for the way it came out. Now I'm going to talk about it. So I just showed you the old school way of doing it. You got to wet it, you paint it with the bonding agent, you put in your patches, you wait, and then you paint it with that Portland mix. And that's it. The old timers, that's how they do. The old timers even take lime and they paint the bottom of the trees. And if you talk to some old people, they'll remember that. So it's a cheap fix. People ask me, how long is it going to last? For $40, $50, whatever you spent on it. Could be a year, 2 years, 3 years, and just paint it again. Keep it up. It can go like this for years. It's a lot cheaper than ripping it all out and redoing it. So I hope you got something out of that. Always practice, go to the site and do something yourself. You know, before the winter comes, get a little block and do it and see how it holds up. So thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. I'll see you in the next video.